Did you notice the one Rebels connection in all of the High Republic era images that were published on Tuesday? Well, neither did I. But thankfully, fellow Star Wars animation fan Jonah Marie spotted something that amazed her Twitter followers and certainly shocked me as well. She found a lone wolf in one of the concept art pieces from the Project Luminous promotion. But this isn't just any wolf. You can see that it clearly shares traits with the Loth wolves we see in Lothal during Rebels Season 4. Just look at the overall design, the nose itself, the ears, but most particularly these black spots that we see on the Loth wolf's face. This is certainly similar to the design we see in Star Wars Rebels Season 4. Again, you can see those black spots clearly on the wolf's face here in this Star Wars Rebels Season 4 image. But after Jonah Marie pointed this out to me, I thought I'd take a closer look at some of the Jedi surrounding the wolf. And of course, the one over here on the right reminded me quite a bit of Kanan. Of course, as a huge Kanan Jarrus fan, I'm probably reading into this far too much, but look at that beard. Doesn't it just look like that could be somebody related to Kanan? Somebody that has perhaps come from Lothal? Sadly, I don't think this is the Jedi who the wolf belongs to. However, we do see this really cool looking Beastmaster type Jedi, which totally reminds me of some sort of elven Beastmaster from a lot of the fantasy novels and RPGs I played growing up. That said, this certainly raises all sorts of questions, such as, is this wolf a Loth wolf, or is it a wolf from a different planet that is similar to Loth wolves? I mean, are these wolves just agents of the Force and we found some of them on Lothal? Remember, it was said that the Loth wolves hadn't been seen in many years on Lothal. So maybe they don't just hang out on one planet. Maybe they do move around. Now, all this is really exciting, but Jonah Marie did point out that this is concept art, and it's not included in any of the images in the news article posted on StarWars.com promoting the High Republic era, and this particular image isn't included in the official trailer. So even though all of you I know would love to see a Loth wolf in the High Republic era and allow us to learn a little bit more about them, don't take this speculation too seriously, as it is just concept art. Now, more recently on the channel, I discussed a theory that isn't based on concept art that links, I believe, Kanan Jarrus to the High Republic era. In fact, I believe Dave Filoni was actually hinting at the High Republic era in Star Wars Rebels Season 4, and I've added that theory onto the end of this video, so let's check it out now. Did Dave Filoni hint about the High Republic in Star Wars Rebels? Well, I believe it's clear that he did, so let's get right into my 4 major points. The first point starts with a refresher on Star Wars Rebels Season 4, in which we see some mysterious cave drawings that include images of what look like Jedi visiting Lothal for the first time. In fact, that's exactly how Ezra interprets the images when the blind Kanan Jarrus asks him to describe them. In the episode Kindred, Ezra states, "The walls are telling a story. There are people coming down from the sky. I think they might be Jedi." And the drawings do look a great deal like Jedi. One of them specifically looks a lot like Yoda. But let's move on to my second point about recent rumors regarding the High Republic from the website Zero Who. They suggest a new, connected multi-platform story will be set 300 to 400 years before the Skywalker saga. The plot will involve a group of Jedi setting out to explore the unknown regions of the galaxy. Timothy Zahn's Outbound Flight might come to mind, which also deals with the Jedi exploring what lies outside the edges of the galaxy. So if the High Republic era is all about the Jedi exploring new locations, could this be a connection to those cave drawings? At this point, I'd suggest probably not, because it specifically mentions the unknown regions in the rumor. However, more recently, we've been given more details about what is probably meant by the unknown regions during the High Republic time period. Let's move on to my third point, which includes Star Wars comic number 2, where they reveal some important details. In the days of the High Republic, the galaxy is not as settled as it is now. Areas like the Outer Rim were dangerous, hard to navigate. so that people of that time built a huge space station at great effort and expense and placed it in the center of the dark zones. It sent out a signal that acted like a sort of beacon, helping travelers find their way. So it certainly seems like the rumors about exploration during the High Republic era are correct, but more importantly, it sounds like the Outer Rim was part of an unknown region at this time. This huge space station helped travelers find their way into the Outer Rim. I'm assuming the Jedi were part of those explorers, and one of the places they went to was Ezra's home planet Lothal, which is after all in the Outer Rim. But I know what you're thinking, those cave drawings on Lothal must be thousands of years old. They weren't created just 300 or 400 years ago during the High Republic. Or were they? Let's move on to my fourth and final point here. Looking back at an old interview with the voice of Kanan Jarrus, Freddie Prinze Jr., he suggested that if we want to learn more about Kanan's past, we should go back a few episodes and go into the cave and look at the hieroglyphs. And just know that those hieroglyphs aren't as old as you might think. He is mentioning in this interview the same cave drawings I've already mentioned from the episode Kindred. Most people would think that those cave drawings go way back deep into history, but Freddie is saying they aren't as old as you might think. So I believe these cave drawings are only a few hundred years old, dating them to the High Republic era. We know people are just starting to travel to the Outer Rim during this time, and rumors are suggesting that the Jedi were part of those explorers. Not to mention, Ezra tells us the people in the cave drawings on Lothal are most likely Jedi, and Freddie Prinze Jr. has confirmed that the cave drawings aren't as old as we think they might be. And if I was going to add a fifth and bonus point here, it would be the fact that it certainly looks like Yoda is part of the drawings in that cave. Remember, Yoda is part of a very rare and unknown species, and Yoda would be alive during the High Republic era. So it certainly seems like during the High Republic time, the Jedi found and explored Lothal, finding Force-sensitive children to add to their ranks. Force-sensitive children that could have been the ancestors of Kanan Jarrus. But the really mind-blowing thought is that Dave Filoni must have already thought about the High Republic era way back in 2016 or even 2015 when Star Wars Rebels Season 4 was all being developed. But hey, I'm Mike, and I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.